welcome back to my channel. I'm Mariah, your Dairy State vegan, and in today's What's for Dinner video, we have meals all over the place. So the video started before I had my son, Daxton James, and then we went to the hospital and I spent a very long time in labor. So I have one hospital meal that I ate vegan at the hospital in there, and then, 62 hours later, I just didn't film anymore. And then we have post baby, when we came home, what we've been eating for dinner since we have been home with our newest little addition. So I hope you enjoy the video. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already, you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you see my new What's for Dinner videos that I post every single Tuesday. At the end of today's video, I'll make sure Daxton makes a little guest appearance for you, but let's get eating. All right, welcome to Wednesday night dinner. For tonight's dinner, and especially because this baby could be here any day now, I decided I just needed to go through my fridge and use some things I had in my fridge up to try and get the refrigerator cleaned out and space in there for when we get home. So I'm gonna make like a creamy, cheesy, garlicky pasta dish. I'm gonna put a bunch of garlic. I had half of a red onion in my refrigerator, so we're just gonna add that. And we're just adding it into some vegan butter that I had. I have a lemon I need to use up, because if this baby comes tonight, this lemon will be wasted. So I'm gonna squeeze in some lemon. That seed I dropped in there out while we're at it. All right, and then also, I'm also gonna add a decent amount of white wine, and we're gonna let this cook down. If you've been watching my What's for Dinner videos, you know for creamy cheesy pastas, I like to make a cashew cream. So tonight we're gonna make a garlic and thyme cashew cream, and we're gonna do that while the lemon and raw wine cooks out of this. Okay, for today's cashew cream, I have been soaking about 1.5 cups of raw cashews. This was another thing I needed to use up. Drain those. Pop them into your blender. I use the Ninja blender cup, but you can use a regular blender. You just might need to pulse it a little bit longer. The trick is making sure to soak your cashews. Mine have been soaking for about 3 hours. You can even soak them overnight. And then because I'm gonna bake this into like a cheesy baked pasta dish, I wanna make quite a bit of this cream. So I'm going to fill my blender cup to the max liquid line. That's perfect. It actually used up my almond milk. See, this dinner's working so great. I'm going to add about 2 teaspoons of sea salt. About a tablespoon of garlic powder. I eyeball it. You can measure if you want to. About 1.5 teaspoons of dried thyme. And of course, for any cheesy creamy meal, we're going to add nutritional yeast. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons. All right, I'm just gonna puree this up to a nice, thick, creamy consistency. And then once our onions and garlic are sauteed down in the lemon, wine, and vegan butter, we'll go about adding a little bit of our spinach and chicken, getting our pasta cooked, and I'll show you how we bake the dish. All right, now that our raw wine has cooked off and our onions and garlic are sauteed down a little bit, I'm gonna add a whole bunch of baby spinach. This is gonna cook down significantly. We're gonna let this cook in here for about 5 minutes, and then we'll add our cashew cream. Look how good that looks. And then I also have a pot of pasta water boiling over here. And for our pasta, I have a partial box of cavatappi pasta I have to use up, so I'm gonna use that. And then I'm also gonna use this bag. I don't know what kind this is called. It's not cavatappi, but it's got like a fun shape. So I thought I'd cook this with our cavatappi, and that will be our pasta for our baked dish tonight. So we're gonna cook the spinach down. I'll come back, I'll add the cream and show you. And then at that point, our pasta should be just about cooked, and we can start assembling it into our bakeware and get it ready to put in the oven. Okay, so our spinach, as you can see, cooked way down. I went ahead and added our cashew cream, and I'm just warming this through. I added some salt and pepper to taste. Give it a taste to make sure it's seasoned as well as you want it to be. Remember, this is going to be flavoring your pasta. Now, you'll be cooking your pasta in salted water, but just think about all the different components. Now, I did not add any type of thickener to our cashew cream sauce because I'm going to cook our pasta to an al dente and then combine this sauce. I have some of these Light Life Smart Tenders that I need to use up. I'm going to mix in with that and our al dente pasta to bake in the oven, so the pasta will soak up the extra moisture from this cashew cream sauce. It's still relatively thick, but probably a little thinner than if you decide to skip the baking step and just put it over pasta. So if you're gonna skip the baking step, go ahead and add about a tablespoon of cornstarch to a 1/4 cup of plant milk and mix that in slowly to get it a little thicker. Otherwise, just leave it like this because we're gonna bake it and it's gonna get bubbly and delicious. Okay, so our pasta is cooked and drained and in the pan. I'm gonna add in, I sliced up our Light Life tenders. You don't need to cook these ahead of time, especially because they're going in the oven. You can skip this all together, by the way, but I had them in my fridge. They have to get used up before I'm in the hospital, because you never know when you have a baby if you're gonna be there for 24 hours or for 4 days. So trying to make sure we have nothing in the house that will go to waste. Then I'm gonna take our cream sauce we made. Woo! And make a mess apparently. We're gonna dump this in and kind of mix it around. I suppose I could have done this before I had it in the 9x13 pan, but you know, whatever. Do it however works for you. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. So we're just gonna get this all mixed and incorporated. Now, since everything's cooked and we really just want to bake it with some of our Miyoko's mozzarella on top to get it bubbly and cheesy, now would be a good time to give it a taste. That way, if you have to add any salt or pepper or garlic or any seasoning that you want, you can add that now before it's on the table and ready to serve. All right, then I'm going to take our Miyoko's mozzarella. I'm just going to kind of slice it up. And this is a really soft cheese. I'm just going to take it and crumble it over the top. The other thing you can do is if you have the Miyoko's and it's frozen, you can grate it with a cheese grater, but just crumbling this over the top works just fine. The other thing you could add would be like the follow your heart Parmesan shreds, or any vegan mozzarella of your choice. We're a big fan of the Violife, just like mozzarella shreds. This just happens to be what I had in my house from when I made lasagna a couple weeks back. If you remember, I made the lasagnas to freeze. And so this is what I'm needing to use up. So I'm going to get this on here. I'm going to pop this in the oven at 425 degrees until our cheese on top is bubbly. And then dinner for Wednesday night will be served. I'll show you when it's done. Holy cannoli. Look at this. Hello, lover. All right, here's dinner for tonight. No clue what tomorrow night's going to be. Hopefully, some point this week, y'all will be seeing hospital dinner. Because hopefully soon, this baby's going to come out. But for now, we're going to inhale this and then go to a concert in the park and enjoy our evening. So I'll see you tomorrow night for dinner. Bye! All right, so for tonight's dinner, we are in the hospital having a baby. So I got the vegetable stir fry with quinoa. I was actually pretty impressed that this was an option. And then I got side salad with oil and vinegar and a little iced tea. And that is my dinner tonight. All right, it is Friday night, Thursday night, I don't know. I got back from the hospital yesterday from having the baby, so it's Thursday night. Tonight for dinner, I'm going to cook up some of this pasta. I let Cody pick out the type of pasta. I just have some salted water boiling. We picked up a nice loaf of bread, and since I am breastfeeding, we're going to serve this with some good olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And then I had made ahead and frozen some spaghetti sauce. So we're going to make this for dinner, but super simple. We're home from the hospital. The baby is here, dinner tonight. I'll put the birth vlog if you're interested in seeing about my birth story and why I went to the hospital on a Thursday to have the baby and didn't have him till Sunday. Check out the little link in the iCard above. Okay, so it is Friday night, and in addition to the freezer meals I made, I also bought some stuff to put in the freezer to make some easy meals. So tonight for dinner, I bought this from Costco. It's like a veggie stir-fry noodle bowl. And I'm going to heat this up and heat up some of this edamame that I'm going to add to it for some added protein and nutrition. And that while this is heating up in our microwave, I'm going to show you how to make a really quick peanut sauce to go over it to liven up our microwave meal for tonight. So you, if you're ever in a bind and want to make something fast and delicious, will know how to make it too. All right, so now that I have a 5-day-old baby and I'm no longer vegan and pregnant, but vegan and breastfeeding, it's super important that even post C-section and in recovery, I'm making sure that even when my meals are simple, that they're nutritious. So tonight, even though we're just using some of this like microwave prepackaged food, I wanted to add the edamame, and then I also want to make an easy peanut sauce. So I'm just going to take a few tablespoons of peanut butter. This is organic peanut butter from Kroger. It's not great for sandwiches because it's pretty liquidy, but it works really, really great for sauces for Asian dishes. So we're going to add a couple tablespoons of that. I'm going to add just a good dash of Chinese 5-spice. This always adds kind of authenticity to a dish, even if the dish comes out of a box and goes into your microwave and then ends up on your plate. We're going to add a little dash of garlic powder. About a tablespoon or 2 of soy sauce, just get it to the consistency you want it to be. And then to spice it up, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of sriracha. Then we're just going to whisk this together. You could add a little coconut milk if you wanted, but that's it. Literally in the 3 minutes it took me to microwave my noodle dish I got from Costco. I've made a delicious spicy peanut sauce to put over the noodles. I'm gonna assemble the edamame noodles and the sauce and let you see what it looks like when it's all put together. All right, so a bunch of the veggies and edamame fell to the bottom, as typically happens with noodle dishes, but I added our sauce. We've got a ton of edamame. This already came with edamame. I just added extra for extra protein. I'm gonna get some healthy fats and good nutrition for myself and for the milk for the baby. I'm gonna add some sesame seeds. If I had fresh cilantro and a lime to squeeze over this, I would add that too. But since we just got home from the hospital 2 days ago, I don't have any of that in my house. So this is gonna be our healthy, vegan, budget-friendly dinner for tonight, and it took literally 4 minutes. All right, for tonight's dinner, my best friend, who is not vegan by the way, made us a vegan crock pot meal. It's a chickpea coconut curry. It smells amazing. So I'm gonna serve this tonight, and I'm gonna make some brown basmati rice. I'll insert a picture here of what it looks like served. If you guys wanna see this recipe, I'm gonna ask her if she'd give it to me, and I'll show you how to make this, because this is a crock pot meal that she gave to me in like a freezer bag. So really great for meal prepping, and I'm telling you, my kitchen smells like literal heaven right now. All right, tonight for dinner, I have heated up the mashed potatoes I froze. If you watch my vegan freezer meal, what's for dinner, and the gravy that I froze. So this is heated up. I'm just gonna pop it in the oven to keep it hot. I'm gonna put these chickenless tenders in the air fryer, heat up this corn, and we're gonna have vegan KFC bowls from the freezer meals that I made to prepare for after Daxton arrived. So this is dinner tonight. Super easy, because I was super prepared. If you haven't seen my freezer meal video, I'll link it above so that you can go back and watch it. All right, so for tonight's dinner, I had pre-made an enchilada casserole, which I have in my oven cooking. I took it out of the freezer and just popped it in my oven at 375. And my husband actually made this cheese sauce for macaroni and cheese for lunch today, and he made a bunch. So we're gonna put this over our enchilada casserole. Now, to take a cheese sauce from just like a regular cheesy sauce, which he made with potatoes, carrots, cauliflower, nutritional yeast, and salt, garlic, and onion powder, we're gonna add some taco sauce and then a little of this Yellowbird Serrano hot sauce. And this is gonna take it from being just a regular cheesy sauce to more of a taco inspired sauce. And then usually I would heat this up in a saucepan. However, I can't really do dishes. Well, I can't bend to like unload and load the dishwasher, and also my pots and pans cabinet is really low. And Jeff is spending time with the baby right now. So since I'm on bending restrictions from my C-section, I'm literally just gonna mix this all together and heat it up in our microwave. And then when our enchilada casserole comes out, we'll top it with this yummy, cheesy nacho cheese sauce. And I will show you what that casserole looks like once it's all finished and done. Okay, so here we have our enchilada casserole, which we had made ahead of time and frozen before little Dax arrived, so that when he did arrive, I'd have freezer meals. And today I am particularly thankful for that, because he has been cluster feeding all day, and I would not have had time to make a meal at all. So I'm gonna serve this up to my husband. I'm sure you can hear Dax crying in the background. He just ate an hour ago, and he's hungry again. We're gonna add some of our nacho cheese. I'm gonna go bring the hubs some food, bring Dax back to introduce you, and then Dax is getting milk for dinner. Everybody else is getting this delicious, cheesy enchilada casserole. All right, so here he is. Little Daxton James made his arrival a week ago. He is fussy and hungry and just wants milk. So I'm gonna go feed him that, and in true new mom fashion, I'll probably eat that enchilada casserole when it's cold, because that's what happens, right, bud? Thank you so much for watching today's video. Make sure if you want any of those freezer meal recipes that you go back and watch the What's for Dinner vegan freezer meal recipe video. And I will see you all next week with more What's for Dinner. We'll see what I come up this week. Cooking with a newborn once these freezer meals run out. Thanks again. Bye. Say bye. Say bye, everyone.